Hi there, I'm David Smith. This is Meet the Leaders, and it's good to have you sharing the knowledge of a lot of different people, municipal leaders, as well as those who are in between sessions, some new ones and some who've been around the Hartford session for a number of years. And we're pleased to welcome back newly re-elected Senator Tony Hwang, representing the 28th District. It's good to see you, my friend.
It's always great to see you, David.
How are you?
I'm good. Just, reviewing and just kind of going through the experience of an election. It is one of the greatest institutions that we have in our country, is the fact that the people have a voice and that the people that represent them should heed the voice based upon election results. And this election was full of surprises.
It really was. There's been a lot of turnover. And as we went into this and go into the new session, it had been all tied in the Senate.
Yes.
Short of the lieutenant governor tossing it one way or the other. And here it is now. Once again, you are dealing with the Democrats ruling both the Senate and the House very comfortably, and governor and lieutenant governor who are Democrats too. So the Republicans now are having to figure out how to deal with that this time.
Well, it has been a changed landscape, but saying that, the problems have not changed.
No.
We have a fiscal imbalance in which we spend more than we raise. We have complexities and challenges in being able to keep jobs and businesses. And we have a sense where social responsibility and caring for those most at risk and vulnerable is a constant question. So regardless it's Democrat or Republican, the problems are still there. Let us hope that we continue the bipartisan solutions. Having been in the minority party in the past, one of the things that I learned in an 1818 tie is that governing is extremely difficult. When you are in a leadership role and you make decisions, you're going to be challenged, scrutinized, and at times antagonized over your decisions. So I think the challenge is that we need to fully address the problems, but work collaboratively to solve the problem for all of Connecticut. It's not going to be easy.
Well, and not only are you making those decisions at the time, but then you have to live with those decisions every 2 years, because the people remember those decisions in many instances and act on that.
Well, you need tremendous courage and conviction to make long-term fixes. So when we go on 2-year cycles, it's challenging to make the necessary hard decisions, because the decisions we make, and when you hear about kicking the can down the road, a Band-Aid solution, it is because we go term to term. But true leadership requires that we have a long-term vision, that you make the courageous decisions to last for the next 10, 20, 30 years. We've not done that in the past, whether it's Democrat or Republican governors. We need that more than ever right now, because we're at a crossroad in this state, and we need to make the fixes that are necessary.
Well, that's very interesting, because so many municipalities are dealing with this and are striking strategic plans going forward, and they are pleased to be jumping into that fray and looking, as you say, 10, 20 years out there. And yet, in Hartford, it seems to be very difficult to be able to do.
It is, because it's like herding cats. Everybody has different ideas and philosophies, but that's where true leadership comes in, where you collaborate and you find solutions that is somewhat discouraging and palatable to others, but it's a collaboration. We need to find solutions. And I don't think it's a Democrat-Republican dilemma. I believe it is a urban, suburban, and rural challenge that we have to reach compromises in. We have to find solutions. We have to find them quick. I'm excited to get back to work, but at times I have to tell you, it's daunting when I realize the challenges that we have. When we talk about being able to save the Medicare savings program for our seniors, and it only needed $95 million out of a $20 billion budget, and we struggled because of our limited revenue resources and our inability to prioritize our budget, those are solutions that are going to be hard to come by, and we can't do it alone. We can't go to one side and say, I've got the better solution. We have to work together.
Well, many of these problems have been sitting there for a sustained period of time. It's not like they're this year's problems. They've been there and they just have not been dealt with, not effectively anyway.
Well, again, it requires courage, conviction, and a collaboration to succeed. I'll give you an example. When we work together, which is what we did when we crafted a jobs bill in 2009, it still remains to this day one of the most effective legislation in regards to creating advanced manufacturing jobs, apprenticeship programs, helping our small businesses with express programs. When we really unified, and not just go to a breaking point where we go our ways, when we truly understand that there's a common goal for the greater good of this state, we're capable of finding great solutions.
Well, that was 2009. That's a long time ago. We're talking 10 years ago when you started into a new session. So we've got to have leadership of today and a new governor. This is going to be very interesting because he is not a politician. Dana Malloy, of course, stepping down. He's still working on the budget and so forth going forward. But Ned and company, not politician, and he's got a lot to work on.
The lieutenant governor and the governor-elect have reached out to me, and I appreciate the bipartisan engagement, and I am excited to work to finding the solutions necessary. It is not a Democratic-Republican solution. It is a Connecticut solution that should benefit everyone. When you look at how close the election was, you had 49% of the state that thought that wasn't the right choice. That's going to be the hardest thing, is how do you bring everybody to the table? Because only when you do that are you going to be able to find solutions. So the fact that going to one side and one party making a decision, it hasn't worked in the past and it won't work in the future.
We will be greatly interested in seeing how it all flies come just about 6 weeks off from now. So, Tony, it's great to see you, my friend. We'll look forward to seeing you up in Hartford and hope that optimism pays off.
Always optimistic, and it's always great to see you. Happy holidays.
Senator Tony Hwang, our guest on this edition of Meet the Leaders. We'll see how it all works out. For Meet the Leaders, I'm David Smith.